Welcome to our Board Member Spotlight, where we get to know the leaders guiding the Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm Kaylin Risvold, President and CEO of the Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce, and today's spotlight shines on Matt Shipley. Matt Shipley is the Chief School Business Official for Indian Prairie School District 204, and he also sits on our executive committee on our board of directors here at the Chamber, serving as our Business Works Chair. Matt, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me, Kaylin.
I want to just start with, how did you get involved with the Chamber to begin with?
Sure. I think it really started with our district's strategic plan process. And we heard from our community several years ago, so that was work we did in the spring of 2022, that they really wanted to see our district really integrated with the community and really more involved than we were, really strengthening a lot of those public-private partnerships and really ensuring that we were supporting our business community and also receiving support from the broader community and our business community as well. And so the district had always been a member of the Chamber. We'd always participated in events, but I think I saw, and we as an organization saw an opportunity to really step that up. And I think it was actually a conversation with you then about what is the next step or what would be the next fit. And that's when I started serving on the Business Works Committee. And again, just started getting more involved, starting to go to more events, starting to ensure our district had even a larger presence than we already had within the Chamber.
You are the chair of the Business Works Committee. What is the Business Works Committee?
Sure. So our committee is focused really on our relationships with governments throughout all levels of government. So our local government, county government, state, and even federal. So we're very fortunate. We have a great staff member at the Chamber, Neil Malone, who is the day-to-day point person on that. And then our committee is really a group of business leaders who help provide the direction to Neil and help support Neil in that work. So just some of the example of things we do. We make a point every year to have a presence in Washington, D.C., to have a federal fly-in. Get a lot of great information through our U.S. Chamber of Commerce and support our U.S. Chamber of Commerce's work at the federal level. We also make a point to work with our state legislators, and that includes going to Springfield. It includes regularly meeting with them when they're back home here in Naperville. And then also having a presence at the local level as well. So attending city council meetings and having that direct dialogue.
Why do you think it's so important for a chamber to put such a focus on advocacy?
I think our business leaders are asked to do so much now. I think, we recognize that running a business of any size, the challenges, the complexities, they're only growing, right? And so we recognize our members maybe aren't aware of some of the issues that are occurring, again, at any of those level of governments. It's complicated. There's not just the local level, but you also have to consider what's going on at the state and federal level as well. And so to ensure that we're kind of doing that work for some of our business leaders or at least supporting them in their advocacy efforts, I think it is a crucial role for the Chamber.
Absolutely. Is there anything else between your personal or professional life that you feel aligns with the Chamber strategic plan, or how do you see yourself continuing to help amplify that?
Yeah, well, I think that's a great question. And again, I get some questions, starting with my wife, right? When she says, well, wait a minute, why are you involved in the Chamber? You work at the school district, right? And, I said, look, it's important for all community members and all organizations throughout the community to have that thriving business community. I think we all benefit when that's the case. And so I think it's a conscious effort that our school districts, that our universities, that our nonprofits have really been involved in the Chamber, and I hope continue to do so. And I think for me, that's one thing I want to make sure that I bring to the Chamber, and that I tell people who are considering getting involved in the Chamber, look, it's not just about connecting with other business leaders, but it's ensuring you're connecting with other nonprofits that maybe that maybe you have some synergies with. It's about connecting with our school districts and our universities to ensure that we're developing those partnerships. And again, to the advocacy piece, it's ensuring you have that voice or you have that avenue to connect with local and state officials as needed as well.
I agree. There's something so beautiful about the relationship between the schools and the businesses in our town specifically, and really in any town, We are consistently named one of the best places to live and work and the best schools. And that's because strong schools bring strong businesses, and strong businesses bring strong schools. And it's this beautiful community effect where we strengthen each other. I think that's incredibly important. And also that workforce development, being able to work with the schools to get business professionals into your classrooms, to start working to get internships and connections with your students, helps hopefully our students come back around and live and work in Naperville as well. But it just brings that whole community into a community, I feel.
Right. Yeah, I think the workforce development piece is definitely something we've heard. Again, when we do surveys at the chamber, one of the first things that come up is the quality of the workforce, the ability to attract labor, right? And then on the school district side, when we're talking with students and parents, that's generally one of their top concerns as well, is how are we ensuring that we're providing those pathways. And so any work we can do, any work I can do to help kind of bridge that gap, if you will, but between our schools and our workforce, I think is invaluable. And I do think it's something that both our business community is asking for, as well as our school leaders and our students as well.
I agree. And being on the executive team, the executive committee of the chamber, does put you in a leadership position in addition to your leadership position as chair business works. What does leadership mean to you?
It's always been that leadership is something that I personally don't seek out, but it feels like people come to me, right? So I feel like leadership has always been a part of what I've done, but it's been your peers or coworkers kind of seeking me out as opposed to maybe the other way. So for me, I came into this role because after a couple years of increased involvement, I think people were coming to me and saying, "Hey, could you get a little bit more involved?" So when I look at what's put me in this role, it's being present, it's being accountable, it's being somebody who's willing to listen and work with people. And so those are, I think, some of the traits I bring, both to my role at Indian Prairie as well as to my role in the chamber. And again, I think we have a great community with a lot of resources. So I think a lot of times being a leader is recognizing that you don't have to do a lot of it yourself, but you have to be open-minded, you have to be collaborative, and you have to be willing to listen and work with others. And I think that's really the story of Naperville. That's the story of the chamber. And I hope I'm doing something to kind of continue that legacy.
I love that. I think it's so beautiful and so true. This ecosystem we have in Naperville where we're collaborative is unfortunately rare, I'm coming to find, in the world. And I think it is that working together that is what makes our community great. All right, last question, but it's a two-part question, so stay with me. It's important to continue to develop as a leader and develop into leadership roles. How do you make sure that you're taking care of your professional development? And if you do read any professional books or podcasts, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I think it's important to again just always have that continual improvement mindset. Always be trying to get better. Always trying to grow professionally. So I do make a point. I think there's two things that I make a point to do. So the first is spend 10 to 15 minutes every morning, just kind of in a newsfeed sort of mindset, and just trying to find a couple articles, kind of those 5-minute stories, if you will, that are relevant and speak to you and kind of provide perspective, maybe in the short or medium term. But then I'm always reading, I'm always listening to podcasts, and always trying to develop. And when I'm looking for a book to read or I'm looking to a podcast, it's maybe that medium to longer term. So it's not necessarily something that's relevant to today's events or today's the stories in today's news, but something with that sort of longer term horizon. I think one topic that I'm very interested in that's probably hits a little bit of both is just where we're going with artificial intelligence, and just thinking through both the opportunities that are out there and will be out there in again the next 3 to 5 years as a result of AI, but then also thinking about the costs and potential challenges, and again thinking about what that means for our school community in Indian Prairie, but also the broader community through the chamber and through the city of Naperville. So that's been a topic I think I've tried to read up a lot on. currently reading a book by the founder of the Khan Academy on his perspective of AI and how that's going to change education and how that's going to change really how we learn in the future. But really always kind of seeking out different avenues to really explore that topic further. I do think that really is the next frontier here that I think we'll seeing really impact our community in the next several years.
Thank you for your time today. It was really great getting to know you a little bit more, and thank you for your leadership in the chamber and in the school district.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more spotlights as we continue to introduce you to leaders moving business forward here in Naperville.
Do you want to keep track of the latest news and events happening in Naperville? If you said I do, then you better believe we've got you covered. With NCTV 17 News Update, get all the local headlines without any of the hassle or subscription fees emailed to you Monday through Friday. Because we believe in everyone's free access to stories that inform, connect, and empower the whole community. Sign up today.
Welcome to our board member spotlight, where we get to know the leaders guiding the Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce. Hello, I'm Kaylin Risvold, President and CEO of the Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce, and today's spotlight shines on Patti Minglin, founder of Go Girl Communications. Since 2011, Go Girl Communications has been helping businesses create content that connects and inspires. And now Patti's bringing that same passion to inspire us with her leadership on the chamber board. She is officially our chair-elect and will step into the role of board chair in 2027. Patti, thank you for being here, and I'm excited to get to know you a little bit more.
Thank you. So happy to be here today.
Absolutely. I just want to get started with, how did you get involved with the chamber to begin with?
I just celebrated my 5th year with the Chamber of Commerce, or my company did. And I believe, I did not come from a family of business owners or entrepreneurs. I came from a family of educators. And I knew absolutely nothing when I started my own company on what to even do. Seemed like there were all these pitfalls. And so joining the Chamber of Commerce was like the one place I found, like, okay, these people know what they're doing. Somebody here will know something. So let me just join that. So I joined the chamber not only to make connections to grow my business, but really to learn how to be a business owner and how to grow my business and take advantage of all the workshops and opportunities that had.
Now, after being engaged with the chamber, how did you step into leadership? You're right now in your 3rd year on the board. What made you want to join the board and step into that position?
I'm sure there were other people that probably talked me into it maybe a little bit, but I've always been a person that when I get involved in an organization, I tend to get all involved. I'm an all or nothing kind of girl. So I was involved in Women in Business, and then from that it just kind of was a gradual upgrade to being part of the board and then moving into the executive board. There's so many opportunities for people to get involved in the chamber in leadership roles, and taking some of those smaller steps often leads to bigger ones.
Absolutely. And while you've been on the board, we did go through a brand new strategic planning process where we went through our 6 main pillars that the chamber is going to focus on for the next 3 years. So those pillars are membership growth and engagement, business resources and support, community engagement and visibility, government affairs and advocacy, innovation and operational excellence, and launching a 501c3 foundation. Of those main pillars, you were very instrumental in that process. What connects with you about our strategic plan?
I mean, I immediately always go to any type of engagement or any type of growing visibility because that's like kind of my love language. But I will tell you the thing that I think I was surprised that I connected with the most is the advocacy piece. I don't think that people realize just how influential the Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce is when it comes to advocating for businesses, not only locally, but on the state level and the federal level. The relationships we have built with our state representatives, our federal representatives, and how we really do go to bat for businesses. And the most recent one is with, here at Naperville with the city council and talking about the home rule sales tax. And we actually made a statement, against going for that. And I think that is the power of our voice is so important, especially when you're a small business owner and you have to pay attention to these little things that are happening that have a big impact on your bottom line.
Thank you for saying that. And that leads me beautifully into our mission statement, which is to move our community forward to an engaged, thriving community by being your business resource and your business advocate for our community. That's what guides the team. That's what guides all of us through this strategic plan. How do you connect with that?
As I mentioned before, I think I got involved with the Chamber because I wanted to improve myself as a business owner and a leader. And through that, I have been able to develop all these skill sets that I didn't even know that I needed, actually, when I started my business. But I think that where I connect the most is through programs like Lunch with a Leader, where I get to have real conversations with leaders that I normally would not have ever met in any other situation. And it gives me an opportunity to get to know them better, get to see where we connect, and then when I see them out later, I can have that conversation again. And it not only moves me forward as a professional and moves my business forward, but then I feel like I know enough about them that I can help connect them to resources that they may need to help move them forward as well. I think the more that you know people and you get to connect with people, the more you can utilize all the resources that the Chamber has.
And with Lunch with a Leader, you will be one soon as our incoming chair. What does leadership mean to you? What does it mean to be a good leader?
For me, it is about being able to communicate and share a vision. And it doesn't mean telling people what to do. It doesn't mean being the boss. It means really sharing a vision and getting and making it so clear that people not only want to move forward with it, but they understand why we're moving forward with it. So it is all about inspiring and making others and empowering others to move forward with you and not just telling them what to do.
It's wonderful. It's been so fun getting to know you as you've stepped into these various leadership roles, and you are amazing at ribbon cutting speeches.
Love a ribbon cutting. My favorite. The greatest little secret. Go to a ribbon cutting. You get to meet all the new businesses or the people that are celebrating milestones, and it's just such a great feel-good moment to end your day that way because they're usually at 4:30.
Mm-hmm. It's a great way. Any other favorite programs or something that people may not know about the Chamber?
Oh, gosh, I feel like there's so many. I am a breakfast girl, not a business after hours girl, because I liked early mornings. So I'd like to take advantage of any opportunity, like for Power Hours or the YPN, our Young Professional Network, often has really great programming that's early in the morning. I just sat through a really interesting one on generations in the workplace and learned that I need to communicate better to my interns who are a different generation than me. They need constant feedback. I, Generation X, need no feedback. So I didn't get it. So it's those kinds of things that, again, I get to bring back to my team and say, hey, this is how we need to restructure this different in order to make our program better.
Awesome. Well, we're so excited to be able to be a business resource for you and for you to step in and continue your engagement with the board and to lead the team.
Yeah, very excited.
Great. Last question. Book or podcast recommendation?
Yeah, I'm a podcast person. I listen to a podcast almost every morning. I really love Smartless. It's one of my favorite. Amy Poehler's new one, which I think is a good hang. But for something that's more business oriented, I am addicted right now to Ambitious, and I do not know the person that leads it, so I apologize for that. But it's great. It's just a really good. It gives me very solid, tangible things to take back.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. And that wraps up our board member spotlight with Patti Minglin. Patti, thank you for sharing your story and the inspiration you bring to our business community and our chamber leadership. Look forward to continuing all the great work.
Thank you.
Welcome to our board member spotlight, where we get to know the leaders guiding the Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm Kaylin Risvold, President and CEO of the Naperville Area Chamber of Commerce, and today's spotlight shines on Mario Lambert, who's the Vice President of Business Development at Populus Group and also the Chair of our Board of Directors here at the Chamber of Commerce. Mario, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And I'm really excited to get into this conversation a little bit today. We are talking about our mission and vision. Can you share a story from either your personal or professional experience that really helps deepen your connection to our strategic plan, to our mission and vision here at the Chamber?
Yes. Well, as you know, we're here to move business forward. And it deeply ties to a philosophy that I have, a belief that I have. And that's that if we do business right, it can be a catalyst for good in the world. And that's very important to me. I know you've heard me say it before. And it's from growing up in my background, I had the benefit of being around some good folks, some business folks, whether it was through college or when I started my career, the right mentors and folks that showed me things that I didn't necessarily get exposed to in my normal community. So from that, I learned to be a better leader, a better coach, arguably a better husband and father, and I learned what it meant to volunteer and get involved in the community. So I have a big belief that through the Chamber, as we continue to move business forward and exposing other businesses and leaders to the benefits to our community of people being involved, that we can multiply that, what I was able to get the benefit of for many others. And that's very exciting for me.
It is really exciting. And I think sometimes, even when I grew up, you think of business as this abstract thing or these big businesses. You're not thinking of, hey, that store is paying my neighbor's mortgage.
Right.
It's employing this. It's helping support our schools, and how the business ecosystem really, businesses are a strong part of our ecosystem. The stronger businesses, the stronger schools, the stronger community.
Yes.
And your ability to see that business is part of our community, I think, is really inspiring.
Yes, thank you. And those were layers that I didn't necessarily see at first, but the more I'm involved in business, the deeper I'm involved with the Chamber, I see how it's all interconnected. And it's so inspiring to know that we can control more of our own destiny here on the local level if we just do good, for each other. And then we do good to set the example for the next future generations, which is also a big part of our strategic plan, succession planning, whether that's for the next 2 to 4 years with our board, or reaching into at the high school level, and exposing those students to who we are and the benefits there too. It's all related.
Yeah, I love it. And having your leadership be so interconnected and community focused. One thing in Naperville that we're really fortunate to have that I don't think everyone knows is the way our systems work and our leaderships and our organizations work together. We're very fortunate to have great relationships with the city of Naperville, with the Park District, the public library, economic development. There's so many different groups. We have such a complementary relationship, whereas many other cities don't have that. They're very competitive, but the way that we blend and that we complement each other is due in large part to leaders like you who see that benefit.
Well, thank you. And that's going to take a lot of intentional effort, because as you know, that can change in a matter of 2 years where we don't have the right focus of what we want to accomplish as a board, where we don't have the right focus with what type of work we're doing in the community. We take our eye off of it, it could change. And maybe that's what some of the other chambers are experiencing. But I believe that we're very intentional about this engagement. We sit and we look and see where are there gaps and where might there be opportunities to find a different pocket or a different partner within the community that can add value to us so that we can continue to be very inclusive. And that's going to take tremendous effort and tremendous focus for us to continue that path. And I know that we're going to continue to do that.
And you are a volunteer. You are a volunteer leader within our chamber, chairing the board of directors and being a leader of our strategic plan of our organization and of our community.
Yes.
What does leadership mean to you? And what type of leader do you think you are?
Yes. Well, leadership is a tremendous responsibility to start. And I believe that strong leaders have great clarity on where they're going, but also clarity on where they are. And if we have a good grip on where we are, and we surround ourselves with good, influential people that are on the same page about the direction, with a shared belief and a shared mindset about where we're going, we can accomplish a lot together. So ultimately, I believe leadership is about being influential. It's about being helpful. It's about being a guide. And it's also about being involved and demanding about what's right, and right according to the mission of the organization. And Kaylin, we've been faced with difficult decisions that we've had to be a part of, where we've had to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, are we making a decision based on what's best for the organization? Or maybe what's satisfying a momentary feeling or thought. And leadership is being bold enough to stand in those spaces to declare what's most important, based on the mission. So again, I'm thankful to be a part of this.
I'm grateful for your leadership, not just in helping us stand in those moments, but this infectious energy you have. In our board meetings, at chamber meetings, people want to help you. And I'm very grateful for that leadership and that energy that you have.
Thank you.
And that purpose.
Thank you.
One thing that we can talk about when we talk about purpose is how you're continuing to learn about what you want to do and how you want to lead. Are there any professional books, podcasts that you would recommend as people look to step more into leadership?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm definitely a student of some great mentors that I've had in my business life, people that I've dealt with directly, but in answering about books and podcasts that everyone would have access to. I'm a student of Patrick Lencioni. There's a book that he wrote called The Advantage, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. There's many others that gave me basically a playbook of how I lead, how I drive clarity, and so on. I think of Simon Sinek and his focus on why and the podcast that he does. There's also another great podcast that I follow all the time by Lewis Howell, and it's called Greatness. The School of Greatness is the name of it. And I pick up so many, positive things from that. You brought up positive energy. In this world that we're in right now, it's so easy to get sucked into the wrong type of energy. So I do a lot of work to make sure that I'm focused on what's most important, the clarity of where we are, clarity of where we need to be, and then what is it going to take to get there. So I try to fill my mindset with as much positive vibes and being intentional about what I'm thinking about and what I'm reading and what I'm listening to. And so those are some of the materials that are important to me.
I love that. And one last question I'm going to throw in there. One thing that's been really awesome to see is how you bring your family to so many different events. You're talking about how you bring your whole self where you're going. Your family and your faith seems to really guide you. And how is it bringing your family, and why do you bring them places, and what does that do for you?
Well, there's a lot of deep meaning to that. I believe that I have been fortunate and guided and coached with people that have believed in me to help me get into rooms and spaces that my family didn't have access to growing up. And so now I feel that it is a responsibility that I have to be in those spaces, but create opportunities to bring others with me, whether it's a blood-related family member, somebody that came from the same zip code that I may have come up in, or somebody that has heritage similar to mine, or just maybe even other folks that I have worked with or gone to school with that may be motivated or inspired to want to know, hey, where is that you're having the opportunity to be and be a part of? So I take tremendous responsibility in creating space to bring others that are ambitious, that have good values, that are seeking to do good for others, to open up the space to see how they can contribute. And it really goes into my ultimate belief that I believe that great teams have representation of a lot of folks from different areas. So it all feeds into my belief system. So I'm glad that you noticed that. I am very intentional. I don't want to go into any community that I'm at now or that I used to be in, and somebody says that, oh, he's not representing who I thought he was. It's very important to me to be authentic in every space that I'm in. So again, I'm thankful that you noticed that.
Absolutely, and to be honest, it's an honor to have your family there, because when you show up and bring your family, it's like you are proud of everything we're doing.
Yes.
And so that is just a whole different layer that you may not realize of everything you do with intention, but there's so many other ripple effects. We're very grateful for your leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. A little peek behind the curtain of who you are as well. And thank you for joining us with this board member spotlight with Mario Lambert. We appreciate your story and your inspiration to our business community and to our chamber.